One evening, Jesus was having a special meal with his disciples. Men like Peter and Andrew, James and John. Men who loved Jesus and had followed him for 3 years. In the middle of the meal, Jesus told them that soon he would go. And where he was going, they could not follow. Peter insisted he'd follow Jesus wherever he went. Nothing would stop him from following Jesus. But Jesus looked at Peter and said, "Before the rooster crows 3 times, you will say that you never knew me." After the meal, Jesus went to a garden to pray. As soon as Jesus finished praying, soldiers came. They carried lanterns and weapons. Jesus knew that they were looking for him. Suddenly, Peter grabbed a sword and cut off a servant's ear. But Jesus told Peter to put his sword away. Jesus, God's King, had to be arrested, and it was all part of God's amazing plan. Jesus touched the man and made him better. Then the soldiers took Jesus away. All of Jesus' disciples ran away, all except Peter. Peter was scared, so he followed from a long way back. The soldiers took Jesus to a house. The house had a courtyard with a fire in the middle to keep people warm. Peter warmed his hands by the fire, hoping no one would recognize him. But a servant girl came along. She looked closely at Peter and asked, "Are you a follower of Jesus?" Peter shook his head. Peter said no. A little while later, a man came to the fire. He too looked at Peter and said, "You are one of Jesus' followers." Peter shook his head. Again he said no. About an hour later, another man came to the fire. He also looked at Peter and said, "Didn't I see you with Jesus in the garden?" Again, Peter shook his head, and for a third time Peter said, "I don't even know who you are speaking about." Just as Peter finished speaking, a rooster crowed. Peter remembered what Jesus had said. "Before the rooster crows, you will say 3 times that you did not know me." Peter had failed Jesus, and he walked away and cried. Everything Jesus said must happen, happened. Not long after Jesus was arrested, he died on a cross. Jesus was right. Where he was going, Peter could not follow.